What's going on, guys? Some very interesting news out of China. The National Congress wrapped up today. It's been going on for the last week or so, and some extremely crazy things did occur during the Congress. And some of them were forecasted, and some are really strange in how they went down. I actually just posted a video a few minutes ago on the former president being escorted out of the party Congress, which it's highly suspect what's going on, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you'll see that President Xi, the current president, has, it appears though that he's consolidated power and continuing to reign and become one of the longest reigning presidents, really the most longest reigning president since Mao Zedong, many years ago. So let's take a look at what happened today, because I think this is it's pretty crazy what happened. So in the Hong Kong Free Press today, so here we got the Hong Kong Free Press. Here you've got an image of what happened, and on my page, I've just uploaded the video that this actually happened. What's strange about the whole thing is cameras weren't allowed into the party Congress. These are the top officials of the entire country coming together to lay out the 5-year plan in terms of leadership and direction of the country. And so cameras aren't allowed into these events. But then here toward the closing, reporters were allowed back into the great hall of the people. And soon after the cameras were let in, this particular incident happened. And so that's why it's quite odd that it would happen this way. And so I think it's worthwhile just to look at and take a look. So again, it's the 20th Party Congress, and the former president and leader of China, Jintao, was removed from the meeting. And again, anytime like something like this happens in China, the censors come out and wipe the ability to find him when you do a media search, or they don't have Google, but their equivalent of Google. And so let's take a look at this article and see what it says. So the former Chinese president, Hu Jintao, was unexpectedly let out of Saturday's closing ceremony of the Communist Party Congress, and dramatic moment disrupted the highly choreographed event. Again, I mean, you think about the Olympics a few years ago, how well done the Chinese Olympics were. Everything like that's run really that China controls, that the government has such a hand on. These things are highly scripted, highly choreographed, and you rarely have incidents like this that cause a stir, because everything's done to script and everyone stays in line on that script. So this particular incident really raises a lot of red flags. Hugh's departure was left unexplained, and the nation's censors appear to quickly scrub any recent references into the internet. Absolutely, they're going to wipe any incident or reference to this off, especially because folks don't know actually what's happened and what's the rationale for it. The frail-looking 79-year-old seemed reluctant to leave, and the front row of the proceedings at the Great Hall, and he was sitting next to President Xi. That's what's so strange is, okay, so you've got President Xi. He's been there for the last 10 years. Typically, there would be a new leader coming in, but looks like President Xi's going to hold on to power for another 5-year term. But before President Xi was President Hu, so it was he's kind of like Biden, Trump, and Obama is kind of that secession type of thing. That's the same thing that President Hu is he was former president and gave the power over to President Xi 10 years ago. A steward attempted to take a sitting Hu by the arm before being shaken off. So Hu didn't want to go. Obviously, Hu was surprised by this and did not want to go. They tried to pick him up. It says here the steward tried to pick him up by putting his arms under his armpits to lift him up. Hu was not going to go. He was sitting firm, put his weight into the seat, and was not planning to get up. And there was an exchange for about a minute. And finally, President Hu did stand up. And again, most of the folks sitting around were stoic, looking straight ahead, didn't want to get involved. Again, it's very customary in China is when things happen, you remain quiet. You just keep your head down, look forward, and you don't get involved with anything. You just, you get that blank stare, and let things happen as they're going to happen. And so the real awkward moment is as they're leaving, President Hu taps President Xi on the shoulder, and it appears to me he's like, "Hey, what's going on? Are you okay with this? Why am I being let out?" And she kind of, said, "It's okay. Go with the gentlemen that are taking you out." Very, very strange to see this, because you would think, again, because of hierarchical structure, you typically respect those that came before you, the older leaders, and you respect those. But she's kind of thrown that upside down, with really what appears to be a slight toward former President Hume. Now, again, and something it does mention here in the article, that at one point early in the exchange, Hugh was trying to take some papers off of the table, and she had his hand on the papers and wouldn't let Hugh take them. So again, it's a very, very odd situation of what's going on. So here we'll take. So, the Chinese newspaper. So this is the Hong Kong Free Press. It's one of a few newspapers in Hong Kong. Many of the really open-minded and liberal, in terms of classic liberalism, free-thinking newspapers in Hong Kong have been shut down and kind of controlled by the Communist Party, by the mainland Chinese. So, but this one, it does question of saying, what's going on, what was about this. So authorities have offered no explanation to the exit, which came just before the 2,300 delegates at the Congress voted unanimously to endorse Xi's core leadership position. Again, most presidents and most positions are going to be 10 years. So, it's a little bit like what we've seen in Russia and other countries of renaming what that leadership position is, so that you become maybe a supreme leader, or a leader above kind of everyone else. So you may have an external kind of de facto leader in name, but at the end of the day, everything runs through President Xi's leadership. So we'll see how those things iron out. We'll know a lot more tomorrow when some of the official announcements on what was decided during the party are announced. So again, they still don't know what caused Hugh's actions, such as whether it was an opposition to Xi's power or simply an unfortunate time senior moment. So that's probably how they're going to claim it. They're going to claim that President Hugh didn't feel well, or wasn't supposed to be sitting down to President Xi. They're going to likely create some sort of story behind it. But what really is odd, that they did this as the cameras came in, and that's very telling, though. It can be a sign that President Xi wanted to be known that the former leaders kind of are gone, and he reigns supreme. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if you search for Hu Jintao on Weibo is the equivalent of Twitter. Twitter is not allowed. Twitter's banned in mainland China. So if you go to Weibo, it's heavily censored. So you wouldn't be able to find anything else about him. You wouldn't be able to find the video about the incident as well. So again, we're gonna hear a lot more tomorrow. So Sunday, because the official party ended today, Saturday, and tomorrow many of the key announcements will be made, and we'll know what's being said. Now we do know a few things that have come out, and I'll probably put that into another video. But since taking over from Hu a decade ago, so 10 years ago, when Xi came to power, Xi has certainly become the most authoritarian leader since Mao Zedong. I remember when Hu came to power, there was significant talk about President Xi of him being a more of a reform-minded president, and would be kind of the dawn of a new era. And I think it was for a period of time. But as we know, power often does corrupt, and I don't want to say that she's corrupted, but he certainly doesn't want to lose that power, doesn't want to give that up, and he wants to maintain that status within the country. And so he looks like he's done everything he needs to do to keep that power. and he continues to do that by crushing his rivals. Any counter viewpoints or opposition has been swept away and removed from the party. So that's it for this video. Again, thank you for the time. If you haven't given this video a like, please give it a like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. I'm a new YouTuber. I'm trying to put out some content, relevant content to the region, and things that I think that Western individuals may like and want. It's kind of a breakdown on what's going on within the region, and everything like that. So please give it a like, give a subscription if you can, and I hope to see you next time on the next video. So thank you. Bye-bye.